Alrighty, guys. Hello and welcome back to the show. And welcome back to Forged Alliance Forever. We've got a cast on the cards for you guys today, and it is a special one because every single player in this game has a legend that follows them. So let's go ahead and introduce our players real quickly, and then we'll talk a little bit about their legendary nature as things get under roll. But we'll start with Team 1 over here on the right-hand side. Up at the north, we've got Blackstar 0150. He is going first air. He's playing the UEF. To his south, we got to pick things up because I spent a lot of time blabbering. We've got Miyosabi. He is playing Cybran. He is also going first air. And to his east, we have Ver5. He is going Cybran, going first land, crossing over the river. We've got Men 666. He's going Aeon, gone first land. To his west, we have Elber Golio. Elber is going UEF and has gone first land, already to work on the hydrocarbon. Similarly, we have Proleator. He is going Aeon, going first air, with adjacency to the hydrocarbon power plant. Love to see that. Let's shift over to Team 2. We'll start at the northernmost slot. Once again, just to keep things consistent, we have Lazarus the Wise. He is going Cybran. He is going first air with adjacency. Lovely, lovely. We have Gem 4159, Russ, or RUS, I would imagine. That stands for Russia. He has gone first land. He is going Aeon on the way out to the middle. His teammate also on the way to the middle. We have Troggy 77, or 17, not 77. He is going UEF. He is gone for first air and is on his way out to the middle. Crossing over the river, we have Squeak 52. He is going Cybran, gone first land. A little bit of a kerfuffle here with the build order, but I'm sure they'll get that sorted out. We have I Am Such a Phallus playing UEF. He is gone, it looks like first land, second air. And then last but certainly not least, in the air position, one of the air positions for team number 2, we have Derekiv. He is going Aeon, gone first air, appropriate for the air position. So I promised you guys this was going to be a special cast. What I mean by that is there are legendary backstories that make up each and every single one of these players. So let's start off with Lazarus. Lazarus has got a great story. So this guy, you know him as Lazarus the Wise, like that's his screen name, okay? But what you don't know is that he actually is a Star Wars character. And you may have heard of the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise, you know, the supposed tutor slash mentor slash master for Darth Sidious. And Darth Sidious claims to have killed Darth Plagueis, but I have it on good authority that Lazarus the Wise himself actually killed Darth Plagueis. And as a result, inherited all of his wisdom and has donned the name Lazarus the Wise. This guy's got a list of exploits a mile long, but probably the most incredible one in my mind is if you guys have heard of the Great London Fire back in, I think it was the 17th century, this guy put it out with his own urine. Like, that's insane. I don't know how you actually top that. So look at another player on Team 2. We've got Squeak 52. And Squeak, so I was asking him why his name is the way that it is, because Squeak 52, that seems a little bit like an interesting name. I'm not sure where that came from. So I asked him, and he told me that whenever he plays Forged Alliance Forever, he allows his opponents to squeak 52 times, once per week, 52 weeks in a year. Once he hears the 53rd squeak from any of his opponents, he is teleporting into your base and masering your comm down. So, I mean, we'll hope that Team 1 still has some squeaks left in their arsenal before this continues on. So let's continue. We've got who's another good candidate? We've got Proleator. Let's take a look at Proleator. Now, Proleator, he hails from the Colossus of ancient Rome. And you can see just with that glowing look in his eyes, that is intensity right there. But he has recently hung up his Gladius. He has given up his shield. He has traded those for the technology of the Aeon and their rather spiritual ways. Trading in his shield for an energy shield, his Gladius for an ACU, his armor for the armor of this command unit. Legendary stuff, I tell you. And I think that we're in for such a fantastic game here. And to kind of round out the biographies, we'll get into each one of these guys' biographies as the game progresses. But to look at a couple of others, we've got Miyosabi. Now, this dude, what I thought was incredible about this guy, whenever I talked to him about like how he got his name, this dude is like immune to wasabi. I don't really know what it is. He has some sort of immunity to the spice of wasabi. And so I've seen this dude crush a 5-gallon bucket of mayonnaise and wasabi, which to you and me might sound disgusting, but it makes this guy immune to wasabi. So if you are using wasabi in any of your defenses, well, let's just say it's not going to stop this guy from getting through. But meanwhile, let's go ahead and get into the game. We'll talk a little bit more about the biographies as we go through this. But we got a lot of legendary play kicking off here, and as we walk through this, some of these strategies, it might not seem 100% clear, but because of these guys' legendary backgrounds, I've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They know what they are doing. They have decades of experience in combat. They have decades of experience in Forged Alliance Forever. And I don't understand how mere mortals like ourselves can understand some of these strategies, but we're gonna do our best to wrap around this. So, for example, we've got FAF. He got this name because he likes to build layers, and by layers I mean LAIRS. Yeah, I spelled that correctly. Okay, good. I think maybe. Well, you never know. Anyway, I digress wildly. So he likes to build layers, right? But we have Miyosabi who has gone forward. And so what's going to happen here is these guys are going to try to lure Troggy 17 into some kind of pincer maneuver where they're trapped between the point defense and the other defenses built out by FAF and the overwhelming land forces, the wasabi eating land forces from Miyosabi. So, like I said, great strategies. And I can only hope to wrap my head around some of these. But getting into the game, we do have engineers being dropped from I Am Such a Phallus. I know how he got his name. If whenever I asked him, the stories were very graphic, and they're going to get my channel banned, my video banned, and I will be shot and sent to the Russian front. So we're not going to go super deep into his stories, but his name speaks for itself. Got some T1 units marshaling here. We got 5 factories here for Miyosabi. To 4 for Gem 4, 159 Russ. You see a little bit of posturing here between these T1 units. Troggy looks like though he is falling for this trap that team number 1 is setting here in the middle. So moving his commander forward, grabbing some reclaim. That's all part of team 1's plan though. They wanted Troggy to get this reclaim. They want to lure him into a false sense of security, move his comm forward, and I gotta say, if that's the plan, I can't say that it is, but if that's the plan, it really seems to be working. So he's positioning his T1 land units. It does look like Men 666 though has moved an engineer across and is going to buy Vare a little bit of time to set up his lair for to capture the enemy. It's like the spider and the fly. Vare 5, it rhymes. Just roll with it. T1 spam on the move for Troggy 17. And a drop also as well from Miyosabi. So Miyosabi also looking to buy a little bit of time, gets to work on a point defense. Again, that's just something that I think Miyosabi is looking to set up, take out a couple of T1 units, slow down Troggy 17's progress, but it doesn't look like he's going to be making a huge hold for that particular position. Looking at the naval side of things, we've got a naval factory that is built here in the middle, being heavily assisted by engineers and more engineers being airlifted. Probably a ferry route. Yeah, so he's got a ferry route that is set up in between. Engineers gather here and move to the factory. So smart, just genius play all around from these guys. As we get into kind of get out of the early game, we got a gun speed and range upgraded for Gem 4 159 Russ. And let's talk a little bit about this guy. So this guy, and you can see the same kind of glowing passion in his eyes here. So this guy, whenever I asked him like how he got his name, I kind of guessed that he might be from Russia just because of the RUS. And you know, who knows? But he told me that in Russia, in order to pilot an ACU, and this is why Russian FAF players are just like really, really good. In Russia, you have to kill 159 bears with your bare hands. So bears with your bare hands, no pun intended there, in order to even be considered for the Russian ACU Corps. So this guy, he is sporting the 159 within his little gamer tag there, and also declaring the country that he is playing for, going for a shield upgrade. So I would expect this guy to bring the same kind of tenacity to this game as he does to his actual bear slaughtering. So this auto gun doing exactly what Miyosabi wanted it to do, just killing off a couple of these units, weeding out the pack a little bit, slowing everybody down. Doesn't want to commit too heavily to that defense, and this is where we see that pincer move that I was talking about earlier. So T1 units beautifully executed, bringing them down, and they're going to be able to cut off this little company. This little battalion is now the lost battalion from the home base of Tragi 17, and Miyosabi's untouchable up here. You know, he's got a point defense, he's got a radar, he's got a lot of units, he's got his comm. He is looking real pretty up there. Meanwhile, Tragi 17, desperate to try and rescue his lost battalion here, is going to try and punch through with the T1 forces that he has, but Miyosabi doing an excellent and, dare I say, masterful job here of fending this attack off. Meanwhile, Gem 4159 is going to be entering the fray as well. We also got a couple of T2 units here, some Riptides, so definitely wants that flexibility whenever he's moving back and forth between water and land, so that he can't get jumped by any destroyers or anything. So smart, excellent play. Like I said, some of these strategies we're going to understand, other ones beyond our mortal comprehension. But Gem 4 has moved in. We've got scouts, we've got auroras, we've got artillery, and he obviously did not use wasabi in any of his makeup here. Otherwise, Miyosabi would be in big trouble, or otherwise Miyosabi would be chewing through this. So didn't use any wasabi, has obviously read the bio on his opponents, which is real smart. Miyosabi does have a gun upgrade, so that microwave accelerator, he is throwing those microwaves down range, man. We're not talking about any weak microwaves. We're talking about like the ones that you get in $1.5 million homes. Those are some big microwaves. You know, the ones that look like ovens but are actually microwaves. Yeah, he's throwing those things down range. Some nasty stuff right there. So talking about Navy a little bit, we do have a good kind of flotilla here of a mixture of Tiger Sharks and Thunderheads from I Am Such a Phallus, or we'll just call it Phallus. Man, those ships just look so majestic. Such masterful artistry. Artistry? Lost my train of thought there. Such masterful artistry from Phallus, building beautiful ships on the water, holding them until the perfect time. We do have a Starlifter T2 transport bringing a Spooky from Black Star up to the front here, and these Riptides are also going to work on Miyosabi's T1 land forces. Several Auroras are coming to assist though from Men 666, so you know, Team 1 just in lockstep unison here, recognizing that, you know, Fair needs his time to set up his point defense, and so the team is going to be compensating and making sure that Fair gets all the time he can to set up these this layer here. And if we actually look, we're starting to get the start of the point defense banks. So it looks like we got what is this, 5, 6, 9 Cerberus turrets up already. We got a T2P gen stealth field generator, it looks like, so wanting to make sure that he stays invisible to his opponents. Miyosabi, though, not going quietly into the night. He wants to make sure he buys Ver as much time as possible and be chewing through a lot of these fervors. Doesn't look like there are any more Auroras left in the mix. Looks like it's mostly just artillery. Tragi 17 moving T1 units up here to assist as well. And Gem 4 with a sensor upgrade, shield, and gun upgrade on his comm. So quite an array of upgrades on his comm. I guess that's what they teach you in I guess that's what they teach you whenever you have to wrestle 159 bears, is You know, if you can't do something, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And if you're going to do it yourself, you got to equip yourself to do it well. So he has definitely equipped his comm with the appropriate upgrades there. Looking at men 666, obviously recognizing the danger from Phallus's navy here in the middle, setting up a bank of wave breaks to block off the potentially advancing navy, making sure that he buys Elber or Golio enough time to really get into the water, get established. But hello there, we got a Revenant out, T3 Strat Bomber. Might have already picked off a mech. How many kills to its name? 10 kills to its name. Okay, so this guy's been bouncing around here for a while. Picks up another couple of mechs as well as mass extraction points. And that Revenant is going to be a problem for team number one. We'll see how Proliator uses his long-time experience in the Colosseum of Rome to deal with it. Almost done with an ARAS upgrade on his commander, so that'll give him a nice little mass bump. Goes to work straight away on a T3 quantum reactor, so we're going to get some ASFs out into the field as much as possible. But this Revenant out from Lazarus the Wise, he is using all of the powers of the dark side of the Force to make sure that he does as much damage as possible to the opposing team. Another strap bomb away. Impacts on the shield, but still takes out a T2 mech that was a little outside of shield coverage. Looks like we do have a flare online, though. That flare deals some pretty heavy damage. Also have ASFs out from Blackstar. Deals with that strategic bomber. We have another ASF here out from Derikiv. Meanwhile, on the front, looks like Miyosabi's bought enough time. Men 666 also expending the rest of his units, realizing that they have bought enough time for the proverbial cork in the wine bottle to make sure that no liquid spills out all over the furniture. And will yield this forward base as well as these Auroras to superior firepower from the pillars, as well as that looks like a Riptide. Another Revenant coming in over the top, though, from Lazarus the Wise. So using more of the dark side of the Force to hide that strategic bomber. But Proliator is ready this time. Has a couple of Transcenders looking to transcend his understanding of the dark side of the Force and make sure that any future strat runs will be futile. Bergoglio getting his units into position to start dealing with this land force as best as they can. Definitely want to make sure that they cover these wave breaks, although it's not going to help from the two governors that are throwing TAC missiles downrange. So instead of microwaves, we're now throwing tactical missiles. Might be a slightly more effective projectile whenever you're firing it at your opponent, but hey, you know, who am I to judge? Microwaves seem to be doing some pretty good work there. Also have a Redeemer, mobile AA. The Revenant's going to run into that same bank of Transcenders. So in the lull, let's go ahead and talk about another player's bio here. Men 666. Now, I think a lot of people think that the 666 is synonymous with the devil, but in this particular instance, 666, and you notice he's got the plural men in front of his name. 666 is actually the number of men that are in this hive mind. So every time this player kills another player in Forge Alliance Forever, their intelligence gets added to that hive mind. It's pretty trippy stuff, if you ask me. It's a lot like the Borg from Star Trek. Taking Captain Picard over. Adding your technological and cultural distinctiveness to their own. ASF's out for Blackstar 0150, so he's got about 6 of them circling over above. Should provide a pretty good net against any further attempted strategic bombs. And this is what we were talking about with the cork and the proverbial wine bottle. We got large amounts of Cerberus back here just decimating any of these units that dare to stray into the firing arc of these units. See as they kind of funnel themselves through the choke points here. Proliator, no doubt, with his classical education as a gladiator in Rome, has told these guys about the story of the Spartans at Thermopylae. They're going to be building out something between the hot gates here. Sure that superior numbers can't get through. It's a good strategy, you know, gotta hand it to them. And we got Gem 4 looking to try his hand. Running his way into the Spartan shield wall. Where every Cerberus turret covers its brother. Every TAC missile defense makes sure that none of that long range crap is going to make it into the base here. We have a triad set up here for Troggy looking to shell these frigates. And, you know, once again, we have a force being deployed, I think, to buy time for team number 1. So team number 1 is comfortably up to T2 naval. Got some redundancy here with some HQs. One goes down, definitely want to have a backup there. Going for T3 on his commander as well. So El Bergoglio, he actually gets his name from... he named himself after Elmer Glue, I believe. So just like those crafts that you would make in elementary school where you would take like little candies and glue them to a paper plate and then you find them in 20 years and the glue is still holding to the paper plate and all the candies are still there. That's the kind of stickiness that Elber is going to be bringing to team number 1. He's going to be able to utilize that stickiness to make sure that nothing bad ever happens to his team. Well, let's take a look at eco here. So looking at the eco chart, it looks like team 2 is pulling in the lion's share of the mass, up about 60k from team 1. We do have a strategic missile defense out from Squeak. Also has T3 air, T2 land, and has gotten himself into the naval game. So T2 naval factory as well. Got a couple of Barracudas out here, some submarine killers. Looking for any tiger sharks that go Squeak. These Cerberus turrets are losing an argument with a cliff here, but it's like TAC missile launchers from either Vipers or is it static T2 TAC missile? Oh no, it's coming from a Governor here in the bay. That's not static. Wow, that's a long range. I would not have eyeballed that range just off the bat. More ASF coming out from Derekiv. Spy planes going over for Lazarus the Wise. Maybe he got blocked from that area of the dark side of the Force, the premonition side, or his ability to see into the future. But let's look at Derekiv. So Derekiv, he hails from the area north of the wall. Similar, got those green eyes glowing with passion. Not green eyes, glowing with passion. So he hails from the area north of the wall in Westeros. And he has journeyed south of the wall, broken through the northern wall. And, winter is coming, let me tell you. We're going to reclaim here. Derekiv has done a great job of really picking the middle clean here of trees. 2 uncapped mexes. That's going to irritate me for a really long time. I really hope these engineers from Phallus capture these reclaimed mexes and it stops irritating me. Of course, if his name is any indication, he probably won't capture it and he'll continue letting me be irritated by those mexes, Such is the way. This is the way. We got Gunthers here as well, so the layer ever continuing in its strength. Series of Gunthers, like 7? Yeah, 6, 7th on the way, almost done. And that is going to be a tough nut to crack for team number 1. Let's see if they can manage it let's talk a little bit about overall build plans. So slamming this T2 mechs up to T2, that is a lot of engineers assisting there. And that would put Squeak 52 up to 150 mass per tick. So I think he's got a couple more T2 mexes. Also got a Quantum Gateway cranking out Rascoms. And moving to the star of the show here, that is a Disruptor that is now queued up. That's going to be exciting. Obviously, he heard somebody on the other team squeak another time. Too many. Got to build a Disruptor. Got to disrupt that squeaking. Like one of those wheels that need oil or something. Strategic missile launcher here queued up from Lazarus the Wise. No, this is actually Troggy 17. Shades of Grey are pretty close, but Stonager queued up, and then he actually decided that it was more important to go for a strategic missile defense. Very smart. Wants to make sure that he's not going to get killed by a nuke, him or his teammates. What a guy, you know? Gonna be building a strategic missile defense for his teammates. We have another offensive, it looks like, kicking off here for Troggy. Largely Team 1 and T2. Gunther barrages begin. Let me tell you, looking at this, these Gunthers are looking like the trebuchets on the walls of Minas Tirith. Got all the orcs running in, those trebuchets just flinging pieces of the city into the opposing armies of Mordor. Could do with another volley as well. And then we get to the point defense. The withering fire of archers. Except instead of men archers, they're probably more like elves. Because these things don't look like they miss. And man, they eviscerate anything that comes into contact. Could do with spreading out their fire, though. I'm sure it's a plan, you know? You wanna lure in this reclaim. Make sure you get as much reclaim as possible. Spectre's being brought over the top from Proliator. Making sure to help his buddy hold the line. And hold it he shall. Against an oncoming tide of units. Gunther's still picking up large amounts of kills before these units even ever see the walls of the city. They will continue making their way through as the lasers go to work, eliminating all that stand in their path, unless there's a higher priority target. Then they will eliminate the one back there instead of the one standing directly in their path. And we got a Gem 4 159. Got a vanguard of T2 shields here. A vanguard of these Asylum's mobile shield generators. That could cause a problem here. Looks like we got a Fat Boy almost done, though, for Blackstar. So, talking about him, Blackstar, he said he's got his name because he likes playing electric guitar, like I do. And you know, some of the amps that deliver the most crushing heavy metal tones are Blackstar amps. Let me tell you, that Fat Boy looks like he's gonna crush this army. Just needs to get it done. Looks like he got about 1k HP to go. Getting back to the action. How's our Cork doing? Our Cork is down. Good number of Cerberus turrets. Gunthers are still at full capacity, though. Loses a T2P gen to the Governors in the Bay. Those Governors really extending their reach nowadays, you know? It used to be the Governor didn't really make a difference, and then when you got Governors standing up on various political issues, and all of a sudden Governors matter. What do you want me to say? Obsidians funneling in through the breach. Those Auroras, looks like the odd blaze are in there as well. Governor's still throwing tactical missiles in. The Fat Boy is complete. When will he open fire? Fire the cannons. There we go. He is not retired. And that fat boy is going to be delivering some crushing sounds. Man, even Phallus is getting in on hype. It's the best assault he's seen in a long time, and I gotta say I agree. Did some pretty good damage to the walls here. I think the trebuchets are mostly up still. Still got these elven archers though causing problems. This fat boy brought in the eagles, man. These eagles are picking people up and throwing them down. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to deal with. Hard to deal with indeed. Strap bomb over the top of the Proliator just for good measure. The eagles are here. The eagles have come. Alright, so how does Team 2 respond to this? You know, Team 1 has taken their best shots. They've done nothing but continue smiling. And this is like Rocky and Rocky 4, man. Just keeps taking on hit, just keeps taking hits, keeps on trucking. But as Rocky 6 told us, the black sheep of the Rocky movies, so you could argue it's the second black sheep of the Rocky movies. It's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. I had Sylvester Stallone guest star on this cast, in case you guys didn't notice. Experimental unit out for Min 666. He's got a Tempest deployed. That Tempest is going to start bombarding this mountain. He does not like the look of that mountain one bit. And Troggy 17 as well as Gem 4 are going to be tucking their tail between their legs a little bit and wisely retreating here, making sure that they don't lose any more units than they have to. It's so smart. So hyped, man. So hyped. I've had a lot of caffeine today too. Had a lot of caffeine yesterday. Had a big day at work, you know, just kept drinking caffeine, you know. But let's check in on Team 2. How is their response come? All right, we got Disruptor. About 25%, almost 25% of the way done. We have got 1.08 million mass collected versus 842 mass collected. So team number 2 definitely getting into a dominant position here on the mass, undoubtedly due to Lazarus the Wise. He's watched a lot of empires rise and fall. He understands that an economy is important, which is why we see him up towards the front on the eco side of the house. They're at 12k. I think that's a reclaim. Still learning. Mass total, Lazarus the Wise coming in second for team number 2 and is undoubtedly influencing his teammates, making sure that they are also making very wise decisions on the eco front of things as well. Got a lot of ASFs here in a patrol pattern. He wants to set up a fighter net here, make sure that no sneaky strap bombers can make their way through. Just genius moves, man. Genius moves. Even the way that he went for a triangle. It looks like been a long time since I've taken geometry. It's on equilateral. Is that an isosceles? Is isosceles the one with 2 equal? I'll call it isosceles. I'm sure I'll get corrected in the comments below. You guys are great at that. But just beautiful triangle work here, man. That Tempest is now moved into almost into range, I think. Let's take a look. Almost into range. Target's coming up. Now he's going to start bombarding these T1 forces for Gem 4. The Bear Killer. The Bear Killer himself. Or he's going to fire at the base. It's a good move too. Lots of Oblivion point defense. Don't want them to get dug in. Get their own little Spartan shield wall there. Speaking of our Spartan shield wall. Looks like he is rebuilding a shield generator. building another shield generator, rebuilding mexes, so definitely wants to spread his income equally. Wants to make sure that he has a good spread there. But now this advancing force from Gem 4 has to deal with a Tempest, a Fat Boy, and the Layer and the Cork. The man, the legend. Layer 5. Vaer 5, sorry. That Fat Boy is in range. Again, it's just absolutely pulverizing these units as they come through. Gem 4, man, he's not giving up. He killed 159 bears in Siberia. What's this? This is just a little wall. He's got to make it through. Nothing compared to bears, man. Then he decides. I'm not sure what he's deciding. I don't know if he's staying. Staying or going. Staying, we're going. All right, he's going. Going full commitment. Although he did lose a lot of troops to the long-range bombardment. Ah, Troggy has seen the damage, the crushing tones coming out of that Black Star over there. And has now built his own Fat Boy and is moving it forward. Gonna have to contend with this Tempest, though. A Tempest, man. Winds are blowing. Begins opening up and bombarding that Fat Boy. And wow. Oh my lord. That was a lot of damage. That's gonna kill it. 2 shots, man. Fat Boy's finished. Yeah, Revenant's coming in over the top. I don't know what they're targeting. I thought they were targeting the Tempest. Looks like they're targeting this quantum reactor. Is Men's Comm there? No. Oh, Men's Comm is there. Oh. We have more? Oh, wow, we have a lot of strap bombers here. And Men, the hive mind, is out. Defeated by the Lord of the Sith himself. I do believe full share is on though, so everything will transition hands. That Fat Boy coming out here though, he don't want to sit tight. Black Star's looking to crush here, man. Let's bring this Fat Boy out and really do some work. That's a lot of work that needs to be done. Could use a Tempest. Could use some Elven Archers. Could use some Trebuchets. Throwing rocks off of this city. Be kind of cool. It'd be kind of a cool mechanic if Gunthers or T2 static artillery could reload faster if there was like wrecks around them. It's like they're breaking down the wrecks and loading them into the cannons. I think that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where they're loading silverware into the cannons. Not practical at all. Probably not realistic. Probably actually super broken. But it's fun for the memes. And these units are going to run once again into insurmountable odds. Troggy signaling to his team, I'm going to overflow reclaim a little bit. Taking the cue from Lazarus the Wise. Making the wise choice. Letting his teammates know. How is our disruptor coming? Our disruptor is done. It is just now received its target priority. I'm not really sure whether it just now got finished or whether Squeak 52 was waiting for a second, but he goes straight to work on a bug after that. Gonna rip some souls, baby. Soul Ripper out there and rip some souls. And up here we also have a Duke under construction for Troggy. So Troggy is done with throwing units at the wall. And Troggy is going to build a bigger trebuchet and throw rocks back at the wall. Which is oddly historically accurate. Speaking of which, Troggy. Never talked about his name. Where'd that dude go? Where's his commander? So I can find him. Wrong E17. Ah, I have discovered you. So, Troggy, going into where he got his name from. He got his name because he used to, he was a caveman for a really long time. And he scratched a living off rocks. And through sheer force of will, turned those rocks into Texas smoked brisket, which I can tell you from first-hand experience is delicious. And with that, he got himself enough energy to be able to go and build his own ACU, fueled by the power of mesquite smoked brisket. Let me tell you, that is a force to be reckoned with. Mesquite smoked brisket. Baby. I'll get your belly full, fuel you up for whatever you're looking to do. Meanwhile, though, this Tempest is really taking out units here. Got 60 kills to its name. So really abusing the fact that Gem 4 has decided to bait his army here. Trying to bait this Tempest in. Like I said, I can't say I agree with it, but, you know, there are going to be a lot of strategies that we just don't understand in this game. You guys have got history. You guys have got decades of experience with this game. By decades, I do mean multiple. They travel in time, even though this game is only 14 years old, question mark. They got decades of experience. Now have Harbinger Mark IV assault bots moving forward. Gem 4 with his tech upgrade. Gonna try his hand once again, scaling the wall. I think a bunch of those Harbingers just died. That's unfortunate. This Tempest doing work here in the middle. 83 kills to its name. Just got its second rank of vet. Those trebuchets are beginning to throw those rocks into those units once again. Speaking of trebuchets, how are our big ass trebuchets doing? We got 10 kills on that disruptor. This Duke is over 2/3 of the way done. So that boy's going to be getting online here pretty soon. What are they targeting? Okay, they are targeting Proliator, who, like I said, I told you, he traded in his shield for energy shields, man. That dude is using them to great effect, just like he would a regular shield in the Colosseum of Rome. Which is just insane for me to wrap my head around. Still got a large naval presence here in the middle with the Summit, 3 Neptune, blind, 2 Neptune battlecruisers, 2 Summits, lots of frigates, and a partridge in a pear tree are going to be throwing themselves at this navy for El Bergoglio. See if that glue sticks, man. I believe in you, but I also believe in Phallus and his ability to ram his way through the canal. Oh man, got some Valiants here as well. Gem 4, you know, man, he's just buying time. Doesn't want Team 1 to get too comfortable. Wants to make sure that they remember that they're up against the bad guys. They're the good guys. They're the good guys to him. They're the bad guys to them. It's all subjective, man. It's all a conspiracy, man. Lots of ASFs here. Also following just a lovely triangle formation. I don't know what it is with me and triangles tonight. I like triangles, man. Okay, that Duke I think is up now. But yeah, buddy. That Duke is up. He is getting adjacency on it. He is telling somebody to move something or other so that he can put more Dukes online. Oh, we also got a Duke here from Blackstar. Too busy telling stories, man. Not even casting the game. New caster, please report. Also got a missile launcher here, almost loaded. That Duke looks like it may have just finished or is targeting a shielded installation right now because it does not have any kills to its name quite yet. But it looks like he is going to be targeting Derikiv, who's also heavily shielded. Sabi asking for a T1NG. Oh no! Strat Bomber's in over the top and Blackstar gets crushed. by a heavy metal sound greater than his own. How very sad. I don't know if that Duke survived. Oh yeah, that Duke did survive with barely a scratch. Transitions over to Proleator. So Proleator is now the beneficiary of this base. And is that Duke still up? Yeah, that Duke is still up. Looks like it's getting targeted though. Either that or these mexes are getting targeted. Something over here is getting targeted by the Disruptor and or the Duke from Team Numero Dos. And where's the nuke launcher? Okay. Oh, there's 2 nuke launchers. Okay. This one's loaded. I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, man. You couldn't have timed that more perfectly. I swear I didn't plan that. I kind of watch this game. I like watch these games through at 10x just to see if they're interesting or if there's something I can use. But I don't watch a whole lot of it. So you could not have timed that better. Oh, I'm a genius. All right. Second Duke on the way for Troggy 17. Probably wants to put a shield over it. But, you know, maybe he doesn't have the mass to spare. That Radiance is getting reclaimed by something. Apologies if you can hear my dog. She's very unhappy about being left outside right now. We have a second Disruptor nearly done. 2k HP left on that. But also do with putting it under some shields. Also got some mass fabs going on here. So benefiting from all ways of generating mass later on in the game. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see. And how is our Emissary looking? Okay, Emissary is done. So team number 1 is able to at least hit back in the artillery game, but a lot of these shields look pretty weak, man. This one buckles. This one is about to recharge. That one shuts down too. Needs to get more shielding up around this Emissary. This Emissary needs to bring the good news to team 2. That shot was wide. That one was sort of on target. I don't know if artillery can collide with aircraft in this game. I know that they could in Supreme Commander 2, which was really funny because you used to be able to just park a bunch of airplanes over your base, and that would be a good way to shield from heavy artillery, or at least for a noob like me it was. I don't know if it actually works in this game. I think they took out the noob colliding, or the nuke, not the noob colliding, the nuke colliding effect. More shields need to be built. More shields! With that Emissary, let's see how they're doing over here. They're not doing... I don't think they're making it through. Quantum Gateway is damaged. Ooh, that's gonna pick off. I was expecting that to be a juicier shot. We got 2 engineers. I was expecting like 7. We have a Novax up from Troggy. So Troggy, see where he puts it. Right now it looks like he's targeting the Tempest, who's now up to 206 kills. That is incredible stuff. Right now, Team 1 just biding their time. Duke is still alive. Still under attack. Still hitting back. Has been transferred over to Miyosabi, who's now walling up his base with Wasabi-fueled energy shields. Got another bank of remnants, and by bank I mean 3. Maybe not a bank as much as a flock. Flock of revenants. What is a revenant? An animal. I think it's one of those like, oh, you having power issues? Proleator. Big power issues? No, he's not. He is negative 1,000 mass though. You don't see that every day. Oh, God, lots of pill power got taken out. And I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to this. That takes out the Quantum Gateway. No, it doesn't. It takes out the power. Nope, doesn't do that either. It takes out a shield generator. But that shell could do additional damage. Emissary is still safe. Still got a good shield bank around it. Where is his comm? Affiliator's comm is right here. It is shielded. But I think it only takes like one shot from an artillery to wipe out a comm. Pretty lucky. Do have a push coming in though from team number 2. Galactic Colossus versus a Fat Boy and a Tempest. Pulls a bunch of bricks. Does look like there's a defense satellite here from El Bergoglio.
Commander under attack.
Somebody's commander is under attack. I'm not on observer, I'm still on Proliator's view. Proliator's under attack, that means a comm might be about to die. Let's take a shot, probably from artillery there. Moving under shields. Looking up here at the north. Looks like this attack is going to peter out. Galactic Colossus almost goes down. Proliator on the run though. Has lost his emissary just now. Is working on salvation. Maybe the salvation will be his salvation. But it's not shielded. So if Troggy is paying attention, this thing can just zap that thing right out of existence. And it looks like that satellite is setting up. Goes for the power generator instead. One could argue that that would be a less strategically important target. But like I said, we don't understand everything that's going through these pros' minds. Lots of shields getting taken out. That next disruptor has got to be up right now. We got 2 disruptors. I would imagine we got 2 dukes as well. 2 dukes. 3rd on the way. It's a support commander going bye-bye. Proliator's comm is right here, unshielded. Still working on this salvation. Oh! And he takes an artillery shell to the face. He should have left his helmet on for that one. That's tough to see. Everything transfers over to Miyosabe now. Squeak 52 is built an experimental unit. Is that bug we were looking at earlier, or is that something else? Looks like it was the bug. Bug has completed. Bug is gonna bug in and then maybe bug out. We'll see, depending on the opposing air forces. Bricks are pushing up here. More support commanders going pop. Makes me nervous every single time. These experimental satellites are picking off power generators. Ooh, wow. Elber gets hit by a nice chain reaction there. And again, if Troggy's paying attention here, Elber's comm is pretty exposed. Might be able to do some damage there. Decides to go for the Colossus though instead. Nope, and by Colossus I meant T3 power generator. But that's gonna blow. That's gonna hurt Elber even more. Is he gonna make it to the shield? Yeah, he's made it to the shield. Might be able to snipe this T2 power generator. Oh, and Fair has been defeated by Squeak. Didn't even see what that was. I have to assume it was an artillery shot. It took out the man himself. Mass restores though from Derekiv to be able to get their way through these shields. ASF scrambling. Corona's scrambling. And see if that's enough. I don't think it is. Oh, but once the shield drops, satellites will finish him off. El Bergoglio goes supernova. We're left with the Wasabi Man himself, who's hiding here in the corner. He does still have a Duke up. I think that's his only T3 artillery piece though. And with enough shields, it's pretty easy to defend off T3 artillery. Could definitely do with getting in here and reclaiming what hasn't been pulverized by the artillery. This looks like pictures I've seen from battlefields in World War One. Just all these craters. Oh, the engine bug's out there. Crater is obviously an overlay that fades out. So I would imagine team number 2 seems to really like, they've tried the forward tactics. They don't really seem to like those very much. I would imagine that we're going to see solaces out of Derikiv. And I'm not sure if that's actually what's going to happen. We'll see. Like I said, watch these through a 10x. Might happen, might not. The bug is bugged in. It's taking out a Galactic Colossus. There are not enough ASFs here from Miyosabi to deal with it. We do have 2 Monkey Lords and a Fat Boy assaulting a forward position. GC, though, is taking the brunt of the assault to his face. Now we do have a good number of ASFs. Looks like maybe 20 or so. But it's okay AA. Looks like they're dealing with them. And yeah, opposing ASFs, opposing Coronas come in from the man north of the wall himself. Make short work of that. We've got a lot of SAMs here. Quite a few Myrmidons. Restorers are being dispatched. First monkey goes down. Fat Boy in tow. Second monkey leading the way with the bricks. Restorers and the bug, though, end up opening fire on it. This monkey might make it into range to use his laser. I'm not sure. Switches up target priority, starts working on the Fat Boy. Shield can take a beating. Monkey Lord goes into range, begins dealing with the fire base. Fat Boy, though, is not going to be long for this world. Shields are down. No help coming from the air. Phallus has now decided to ram his enormous navy up through this canal. Takes out the Tempest. There are 2 summits here from Miyosabi that are holding the line, baby. Hold the line. Da-na-na-na. Love isn't always on time. Not sure where that came from, had to sing a little bit. Squeak 52 builds another experimental unit. Another bug. Not sure what that one was. Oh, well, that's what it was. It's Gathis. Okay, that's gonna be hard to deal with. Stores mopping up the bricks. Miyosabi is starting to realize that his immunization to Wasabi is probably not going to be able to win him this game. Summits, though, doing work here in the middle, taking out a good number of these Valiant class destroyers. The battle cruisers get into range, though, and they start doing a number on them. This looks like a TAC missile battery launch. Gonna take out the leading summit. Second one soon to follow, and it looks like Miyosabi decides to bow out. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was a good game. It was enjoyable to watch for me. If you guys made it this far, this game was in good fun. I have not actually met any of these guys. In case that wasn't clear, I'm going to put a disclaimer in the description down below. I wanted to do kind of a Mimi cast and have a little bit of fun with it. So if you guys like this, I had a blast actually filming it. If you guys liked it, let me know down in the comments. If you hated it, you'll never see this kind of content ever again. I do read every single comment. I don't always respond to every single comment, but I do always read them. Thank you guys so much for commenting. If you guys have any replays that you would like me to cast, send them my way. I do review every single replay that I get. Just sometimes they might be a little bit too short. They might be a little bit one-sided, which, makes me sad. And so for a replay to get cast, it needs to have a little bit of good back and forth, or it needs to have some good meme material like this guy. As far as how to send them to me, please use Discord. Please do not send them to me in FAF chat. And it's not because I don't want to interact with you guys in FAF chat. It's because every time I close my FAF client, I lose my chat history. So if I have not had the presence of mind, which I don't always, to copy the URL into a document that I use to track these casts, it will I won't be able to review it because I'll never be able to find it again. So a couple of you guys have sent me casts on there. I've looked at them. They've looked actually really good, and then I've forgotten to copy them over to my document, and then my wife shuts down my computer as we're going to bed or something, and it's gone forever into the ether. So if you've sent me a cast on the FAF client, please send them to me on Discord. My handle and my channel are down in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.